So the first question I have for you is how did you become interested in working in animation?
Yeah. So I think I was about 8 or 7 years old when I realized that people got paid to make animated films. It blew my mind. I watched a lot of animated films with my siblings growing up. So that was a lot of the media we were consuming, and I really appreciated and liked how it would bring you into a different world. It was so colorful and vibrant. There would be musicals and the songs are very catchy. So it was something that I think was a big part of my life growing up. And when I realized that there was an industry there and I could do that as a job, I I was very determined to do that because I think that that was like my dream.
Hmm.
And so I kind of watched like behind the scenes of a lot of films that I enjoyed. And when I realized that 2D animation was becoming like less and less prevalent in the media, I started like learning and reading about 3D animation and was like, I guess, this is the area which I should kind of study it. Um, so yeah, that's kind of how it all started. It was very early, and that's kind of just what I decided to do.
Yeah. And thank you for sharing that as well. I had a similar experience with film, just watching those VHS tapes as a kid, DVDs, watching those behind the scenes like director's commentaries as well. Like that's something I did, so I can relate to you on that. And also as well, when you entered college during your time as an ATEC student at UT Dallas, how did that time help you pursue your goals of working in animation?
um, it was a really great experience. One of the things that I noticed straight off the bat was that I was finally in an environment where so many of my peers were able to geek out about animation like I was, and I found that to be just so exciting. Because growing up you have this like love and passion, and you're not always guaranteed that you're going to have this community that encourages it or just even kind of relates. I had a very supportive family growing up, so they would try and like engage in questions about like so what do you enjoy about this animated film, and they would listen. It was great. But it was really cool to be with other people who I could learn from and about like their experiences and like the films that they grew up on and things that they recommended to me. So I think that that's one of the main ones that comes to mind. And then additionally, just like the classes and the professors that the classes that I took and the professors that I met during my time were just incredibly friendly and very caring. Um, and that is, I think, like just extremely uh, amazing for the students, myself included. So yeah, I know that ATEC put on a few like workshops almost, but like they had guests come in from other studios and talk about their studio and the pipeline and kind of give us students an inside look into what they're doing. And during one of those, uh, they were talking about the pipeline, which I was still trying to find like my place in the pipeline, my
Yeah.
place in the industry, so to speak. And it was great because I did have friends that, would latch on to like animation is my thing or like, lighting is my passion. And I would see that and I just didn't feel the same way about animating or feel the same way about lighting class but during one of those studio visits they mentioned like production management, and I was like, that seems like something that I do naturally. That seems like something I would be a good fit for, and I can still be in the industry, so let's go ahead and do that. So one of the professors that I met very early on in my college career was Carol Orapalo, who had done production management in the industry for quite a while before becoming a professor. And she just, yeah, brought me up to speed on everything that she
Yeah.
had experienced and things that she would recommend and things that, um, she was just a great person to talk to. And she was a great encourager. She's like a cheerleader for like everyone that I know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, you have continued the streak of students that I've interviewed this year mentioning Kara or Apollo,
Yeah.
actually.
She's just touched so many students' lives. I know it. She's got an abundance of energy, I think, and also just heart. She cares so much for every single student she comes across, and I think that is just amazing. She's an amazing person for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. And I love that you mentioned how supportive of the community ATEC is, because I felt that when I transferred too, how it's a place you can geek out. I would say it's probably the first time in my life where I feel like, oh, people can just really geek out and not be like shamed about it either. So
Yeah.
that's I love you brought up that community aspect, and I can tell like how that's benefited you as well. And plus, you have like a positive personality too, so that helps along with that, like supporting and fostering that community as well. And just alongside that, like after you graduated, what has your post grad life been like career wise for you?
So post life, I feel like is very similar to my peers who graduated in spring 2020 to like now. It's different than I think what we were expecting, which is, due to COVID and lockdown and quarantine. Um, I haven't been able to like right away move somewhere else. Which I'm very thankful for a place to like stay and that I'm with family and everything. Um, but it's just different because I haven't been able to see my UTD friends in quite a
Yeah.
while. So I think different, but also as good as I think is possible. I have gotten to spend a lot of time, just reading and relaxing and not having to worry about a paper that's due every week. um, and yeah, um, yeah, I do have a job um, in the industry, so I'm very thankful for that and the work that I get to do during the week. Very glad because I think I would go a little bit more crazy if I didn't have like a project or something to spend energy and time on.
Hmm. And I'm glad that you have those outlets as well, especially while we're still in the pandemic. That's something I try to find myself doing, like just have a creative outlet to express myself. And also for you, just with all the experiences you've had, what advice would you give to college students out there or just people in general?
Um, let's see here. I think a really good one is to like um, don't forget to live your life and like create friendships and relationships with others that are gonna help ground you and support you and encourage you through your entire life. Because I think you can only work so hard at your dream, and if you don't have others supporting you or something that's pouring into yourself, you're gonna burn out. So I would say if you make those early on and you find your sustainable form of motivation, that's going to be really helpful. Yeah, to not burn out.
Oh yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah, and that's so important that you mentioned that as well as far as just being sustainable, because that's something I see myself and my peers going through too. Is like we want to. It's kind of like that anxiety wanting to break into the industry so bad, but also realizing you have to. We're not machines. We have to take a break. So I'm very happy that you mentioned that as well.
Mhm.
Mm. And also, I think just moving forward, you'll definitely find further success in your career because I can tell like your positivity has taken you a long way, and I'm excited to see where it goes for you as well.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
Oh, you're
Um,
welcome.
I just see the work that you're doing and like all of the projects and your creative outlets. Um, and I think that's really awesome. And you definitely can see your passion in everything that you're putting out because you're coming up with those ideas and you're following through. And that's really, it's great to see. And it's
Uh,
encouraging for other artists, to see you also pursuing what you want to do.
Thank you, thank you.